Bert Barron on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
737, welcome back to Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. Our contest is on the way. I've got your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Bobby Valley. He is in concert Saturday, June 2nd in East Brunswick at the St. Bartholomew Parish Hall, and you'll have a chance to win a pair of tickets and see the show a little bit later on this morning when we have our contest. Well, another terrorist event happened over the weekend in Paris, and ISIS claiming responsibility for this one. This time around, it was a stabbing that resulted in death and injury. And joining me now on the Miller Lite Jersey Central Newsmaker Hotline to talk about this particular incident and some ways to stay safe this summer when you're in some very crowded areas. My good friend Michael Abruzzi, who is the owner of Golden Tiger Karate, and he offers these free self-defense classes, is with us this morning to share some information. Michael, good morning. It's Bert, and it seems like any time events like this happen is the only time you and I get to talk. So it's great to hear from you, but unfortunately it's at the expense of another terrorist event somewhere in the world.
It is unfortunate, but I'm honored to speak to a Radio Hall of Famer, so you're very busy now, which is great. So I'm glad to speak to you.
Thank you for that. I try to think about just some of the differences. You know, when it's an event that involves a gun, you know, people hear a gun go off and they run, they hide, they at least get into some sort of, CYA mode. When it's a stabbing, it could be 20, 30 feet away. Someone whips out some sort of knife and stabs someone. I could be very close to that and have no idea what's going on so close to me. So what are some things that I should look for, maybe some ways I could stay safe in the event of a knife attack?
Well, this was a bladed weapon, but it was a razor knife, a box knife, and it's used for slashing. But to go to your point, you have to be aware and alert at all times. But it's the idea of having the fear, fight, and flight mode. People become very frightened, and it's almost impossible to stab or slash 5 people without other people knowing about it. So that people have to be more aware and alert and desensitize themselves against fear through proper training.
So this was almost like a box cutter, like the kid?
It was absolutely a box cutter.
Like the kids at ShopRite used to carry in their pocket when they were cutting up boxes for the dumpster? It's something as simple as that?
It's the exact same weapon that was used at 9/11.
Box cutters, right.
Box cutters.
Oh, man.
It's the little square thing, but they're lethal, because if you cut an artery, you'll be dead in 20 seconds.
That's what makes this such a scary thing, I think, Michael.
It is. It's really terrible. But the idea is people need to be aware more than ever in our lifetime. Unfortunate as it is, but that's the bottom line of it. And to learn to be able to defend themselves, because something like that, it's only 6 inches long.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to defend yourself against if you've practiced it. You know, if you understand to desensitize, that you're not fearful of this bladed attack.
Well, defending yourself is one thing. I think my instincts would kick in, Michael. I might try to subdue somebody that's got a weapon like that. Am I smart to think I could take somebody down?
Well, you can. You know, you've had a little bit of training. You're a strong man, and anyone can defend themselves if they know what to do. But if you're frightened, it just blanks out the mind, and that's what happens to people. Unfortunately, you know, certainly it's not their fault that this is happening.
Right.
But this is why, you know, for someone to be able to attack 5 people in a 2-block area, you know, there has to be knowledge. People just don't know what to do. And that's why I offer the self-defense classes for the last 33 months for free, just so that people can live. You know, and I've had so much feedback. It's unbelievable.
And well worth just a little bit of time on a Tuesday or Thursday night to go learn something that could literally save your life. I mean, we're going to have crowds, Michael, this summer all over the place. People are getting together for concerts, for festivals, for outdoor things. And we're kind of like still in that mindset after the Vegas shooting that, okay, we're kind of looking around in the event if somebody, you know, takes out a gun and starts firing. But now when this can be done so stealthily and so quietly, it's almost like you have to put on a new set of ears, of rabbit ears, and kind of keep an eye on what's going on around you and be extra sensitive. Someone next to me yells, help, he's got a knife. Now, all of a sudden, I have a different sort of instinctive reaction that has to kick in.
It's very, very, very true. But people should, you know, be well aware of what's going on around them, and also, if they're going to any crowded places, to investigate the security. Where are the exits? Where are the armed guards? What is happening? Not just to drift in under the euphoria of the entertainment, but to protect your life.
Yeah, and if you go to some place that has, a bag check or a wand where they scan people or there are some kind of security checkpoint, we have to let people know, Michael, that that's not the be-all, end-all. You still have to kind of keep your wits about you and keep your eyes open, even if there is some sort of screening checkpoint in place.
It's all part of a puzzle that can be put together to protect yourself.
Yeah. Michael, big event this weekend, this royal wedding. There's a week-long lead up to it. It's two people getting married there. Prince Harry's marrying a young girl from the United States. I could just imagine how tight the security will be like in a perimeter around where this wedding is going to be taking place. We've seen a couple of those in our lifetime. The first one I can remember is Charles and Diana back in the early 80s.
Yes.
But what kind of security do you think will be in place? And you said you've even had a little bit of information. What sort of security is going to be in place for an event where the entire world will be watching, like this Saturday?
Well, first of all, it's much different than when we first saw these events and things are going on, not like today. But a lot of what happens around these events is that you don't even see who's actually protecting us. A lot of it's done with snipers, it's done with drones, and there's a lot more going on than you would ever see. We have a Marine Corps force that actually in the United States that actually goes out and protects all our ambassadors and all our dignitaries. And these people are there to help them in the event of anything happening. So it's much more, it's not just men standing there with guns that you can see. It's what you can't see that's been put in place over the last 7 or 8 years.
And it seems like some of the most effective security measures, Michael, are where they just kind of blend in with the background. I mean,
Sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were people planted as wedding people that were invited to the wedding that are actually there for strictly security purposes, that are just there as people just think they're there to attend a wedding, but they're really there keeping a watch, the eyes and ears of everything that's going on. And it's the same thing with these you see on planes where there's plainclothes air marshals that are flying on planes. You have no idea who they are, but they're there for a very specific purpose. So I could imagine a very tight perimeter around this church where the wedding is also happening.
Well, you're going to have that external appearance of weapons and people, but what really keeps things safe is what you're not seeing, but is absolutely there.
All right, good information. If Michael, someone wants to sign up for one of your free self-defense classes in North Brunswick, how do they do so?
Well, you just go to goldentigerkarate.com, leave a message, and we'll get back to you. If there's an opening, then you're welcome in. Classes are crowded, but we're doing very, very well with teaching people and helping people protect themselves over the summer.
Wonderful. And you know that I am so long overdue for a refresher course. I know. And I will get over there, too. And one of the most important things I learned from you is you can tell just by the way that someone holds a knife or a bladed instrument, by the way they're holding it, what their level of skill is with using it. And, boy, that was a real lifesaver for me. It was something now that clicks in my mind right away. Okay, how are they holding the weapon? And just by the way they're holding it, I know if they can do some serious damage with it or not.
Information will save your life, and that's why I minimalize it so it's very simple, one sentence things that sticks in your mind, just like knowing where the exits are. In a restaurant.
Very good stuff, Michael Abruzzi. Thank you as always.
Thank you.
And here's to a safer world. Let's you and I talk about something happy for once. But here's to a safer world. And thanks as always for your information. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, Michael Abruzzi, my guest here on